Jayden, you got a victory last week in a home opener over a division rival. And around here, I'm sure you figured it out, but if you haven't, you're gonna. Beating the Giants, beating the Eagles, beating the Cowboys especially, that's a big deal. How much does it help, if there are nerves, to just exhale a little bit and get that first win at home?
Man, it means a lot. A couple of my buddies, CJ Stroud, people like that have been in this league a year ago, they told me to celebrate these wins because it's hard to win in the NFL. So first one at home, it wasn't the way that we wanted to win, but a win is a win. Against one of my personal best friends, Malik Neighbors, and the Giants, you know, it means a lot, not only to me, but, you know, to the fan base and everybody else.
You've run for 132 already, and I think Washington fans understand your legs are a weapon. But I think maybe you understand that Washington fans, when you take off, everybody's like holding their breath, right? How do you balance the fact that your legs are definitely going to be part of what make you great in this league with the fact that in this league, there's some big fellas out there and you're not the heaviest guy? So how do you balance that?
You got to pick your spots. When it's time to extend the play outside the pocket with your arm, with your legs, get what you can get so you can stay ahead of the chains. But also, no matter what, any quarterback in this league, anybody, you take that wrong hit, you know, is always bad from there. But it's just picking your spots. And for me, like the coaching staff, everybody, they don't want to take away what got me here, what could help me. But, you know, they just want me to go out there and just pick the spots when it's most important too.
I was texting with Coach Herm this morning and told him I was going to visit with you. He told me to tell you hello. He also told me to tell you to slide. I'm sure you hear that a lot.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's a balance. I mean, part of what makes you dangerous is that. I mean, you don't want to take that part of your game away. But it is, I mean, there's some big cats out there running around. You mentioned CJ. I find it really interesting that there's these three California quarterbacks, Bryce Young, yourself, CJ. I know you know each other well. I know you guys train together. I know there's a lot there. It's crazy that a year ago those guys go 1-2, then you go 2, and they've had very different paths, obviously, earlier in their careers. What have they shared with you about what this process is like that you found helpful?
Just be yourself. The main thing is we got here for a reason. You know, teams picked us for a reason. Don't try to go out there and be somebody that you're not. Continue to be yourself and enjoy the wins, because they're hard to come by. Obviously, it's two different type of paths from them last year, and then trying to follow them up this year, man. Is go out there and just enjoy the wins, be yourself, and try to lead the team the best you can.
This game on Monday is interesting because the guy on the other sideline under center is not just part of the Heisman brotherhood, but he's part of that LSU brotherhood, which is, I've seen it, man. Baton Rouge is like no other place in the world. What's that relationship like in terms of a guy that maybe you can lean on and ask questions about what it is, because he's even further down the road than CJ and Bryce?
Yeah, me and Joe got a good relationship. Obviously, us both being transfers going to LSU and they accepting us and accomplishing what we accomplished there, you know, we kind of built that relationship over those past 2 years. And now to be able to be on the same field as him, I know a lot of people back in Louisiana will be happy to tune into that game.
They got to pick one, or are they going to root for both sides? How's that going to work?
I don't know. It's up to them. I appreciate a root for both sides, but it'd be awesome to share that and see where two transfers, two kids from totally opposite sides of the world, and go out there and we have something in common. That's going there and going to LSU, being in Louisiana, and them kind of adopting us.
They really did, didn't they?
Yeah.
Like that. The thing that unless you've been there, I don't think people can really grasp what it means to them to have a guy out there like him and then you. Is it? Were you prepared for what that was?
I wasn't, not at all. I don't think Joe could say he was either.
I'm sure he said he wasn't.
Yeah, no, you can't be prepared for that. But once they accept you, man, they love you forever.
Well, you also guys were really good. That helps. That helps. So I mentioned I know Coach Herm, and I have some sources here in the building, all right? And everybody that has told me about you describes you the same way. They say he's incredibly confident, but not the least bit arrogant. Does that sound like you?
Yeah, for sure, 100%.
So how much of that would you say leaks into how you try to carry yourself as a leader? Because this always fascinates me, and I talked to CJ about this last year. You're a young man, and you step into a spot where you're asked to lead older men.
Right.
How much of your personality that we just described would you say is in how you're attempting to do that here?
A lot, because you go out there on the football field, the way you earn respect in this league is how you play, and how you carry yourself on and off the field. So for me, you go out there and you don't have any confidence, like the vets would be able to see that, especially somebody that they play in the most important position on the field. If you don't got no confidence, man, they're gonna see right through that. If you try to go out there and be fake or not yourself, not authentic, man, they'll see straight through that. So for me, it's like, how can I show up every day, continue to be myself, have the humility to know that I'm a rookie. You know, I'm not too good to take advice from anybody or learn from anybody. But at the end of the day, man, once I step on the field, I'm still confident in my abilities.
But see, that's the balance. That's what people said. Confident, but doesn't have all the answers. Like, have there been moments early on where it's like a hurdle for you, something that happens? Maybe it's a simple rep that works well. I don't know. I wouldn't have the slightest idea. That's why I'm asking. But have there been moments early that help that confidence grow and become even more solid?
Yeah, I think it's just the more of the reps that I got in practice over time, from OTAs to training camp, and be able to get more comfortable, go out there and have fun, be able to talk trash to the defense and stuff like that.
Right.
Somebody I really grew a closer relationship with was Bobby Wagner. Obviously, we know what he done in this league.
It's a good dude. That's a good dude to lean on. I mean, that's gold jacket guy right there.
For sure. So him, it's like just asking questions, but at the end of the day, man, we still competing, and you know, I'm a competitor.
I talk about Baton Rouge and how, you know, people love you. Around here, and I'm an old guy, but I'm old enough to remember the Joe Theismann, Doug Williams, Mark Rippon. I could keep going. They're way before you were born. But what's your understanding of what Washington was like when that team had it cooking? Man,
I got a front row seat to see every day with Doug here. And see when Joe comes back. But I remember one time me and Doug had went out and got lunch. And obviously, you know, Doug is a star. You know, they love him for what he did, what he accomplished here. So be able to just see that, I mean, it's just gratitude and humility to me to know that, man, I got somebody that done what I want to do at a high level, and all I got to do is go out there, learn from him, and, you know, just try to keep getting better.
There's a lot that's new. It's not just you, it's your coach, it's your GM, it's your OC. There's a lot of guys that are new, and all old guys. Like, we're all from somewhere. I'm from here, and I'm representing all my boys on the text chain. Like, you got to tell them, like, everyone is just so hungry to get back to something like what it once was. How do you describe the appetite you all have as a group to take the steps towards getting back to what once was here in Washington?
Man, we're super hungry for it. You know, it's going to be a process. It's not going to be an overnight thing, overnight success. But, you know, if we could come in and get better each and every day, obviously we believe in Adam and DQ here. You know, it's two great leaders that gave me the opportunity to come here and showcase my talent, so I'm forever grateful for them. But as a team, man, it's just how can we get better each and every day? How can we learn from our mistakes so when November and December come, you know, we can hit our strides?
It's wild how you guys, just rookies, quarterbacks, I mean, you get drafted high for a reason. They throw you in the deep end. It's like, let's go. Yeah. Like, there's just no time to wait. Does that accelerate the timeline? I mean, for you all as the quarterback and the organization, it is a process, right? And there's patience, but how you balance the idea of being patient with the need to get there as quickly as you can. What's that look like?
It's crazy. You know, for me, I can say I played a lot of football at college. And I was blessed enough to have those reps. So everybody's path is different, but it's still a different type of game when you get up here. No matter how much you play, how many reps you played in college, you know, once you get out here, it's still a different speed. You got grown men that are playing chess, and you know, you might be thinking you're playing chess, but you might be playing checkers. So you gotta get up to speed real quick. But you know, God blessed me enough to be in this position, and He wouldn't put me in this position. He think I can handle it.
The lights of Monday night, there's nothing quite like that. As a kid, I can vividly remember like riding home, like when Washington would play on a Monday night game. Like there was nothing more exciting than that. Like that, and it was later then, but that music, the feeling of what Monday Night Football was, and I wasn't on the field, obviously, I was just watching. You're going to be out there on a Monday night. Does it still represent something that feels big?
Yeah, I think just every game is big to me.
Sure.
You know, my first year and everything, so first Monday night game is going to be special. You know, I was able to, blessed enough to experience my first game, the first home opener, and our first Monday night game on the same month, man, so it's a blessing.
Well, I talked to Cliff. You know, touchdowns would be cool too,
For
right?
sure, for sure.
I mean,
100%.
field goals add up, but touchdowns are nice as well.
I'm right with you.
You got some of those in the back pocket?
Man,
for Monday?
we're trying to. I'm right with you.
Right on. Has it been fun?
It has. It's been super fun.
Is there some, just as a last thought, just it seems to me that you see that. Like, I was watching you against Tampa, and I see the smile on your face. Like, it appears that you're a young man in a professional atmosphere who still has the joy of just playing the game. That's apparent to me. Is that something that you're feeling as you're out there doing this thing?
Man, honestly, that's just how I am. You know, football is a fun sport. It's a kid's game, but as you get older, obviously more is on the line, more is at stake. But for me, you try to find that inner kid, and, you know, you're still playing football at the end of the day. You're not really worried about what's going on. You just want to win the game. You want to go out there and make plays and have fun.
I asked you when I sat down, you live on the Virginia side.
Yeah.
All right, I live on the Maryland side. Are you aware of the DC thing where, like, DC's the meeting point in the middle? Maryland people look at Virginia people and just like, y'all stay over there. Do Virginia people, are you aware of all of that?
I mean, I'm getting accustomed to it, but I'm still trying to figure out my way over here.
Have you dealt with the Beltway a lot?
Not really.
Don't. It's a disaster. I'm from here and I got to come back home, and being back home is the greatest thing in the world. But you have to avoid going back and forth over. There's one bridge, the Cabin John Bridge. You must avoid that. But I don't know why you'd be going to the Maryland side during rush hour anyway.
No, not at all.
Don't do that. Stay on your side and stay on the Virginia side. But there is. I mean, the nation's capital is the nation's capital. And I get that you got a job and it takes up a lot of your time. But is there something about the idea of being in the DC area that's been appealing to you?
Yeah, it's crazy. Just the DMV in general. One, how passionate fans are out here about sports. Two, just growing up, and me being from California, you just learn all about the monuments and stuff like that. So I remember my first time being able to go down there and actually see and experience, like, it's crazy. I never thought I'd be in that position to be able to see something like that.
It's a beautiful city at night, man. I think that there's something about just the way that's cool. I'd say stay off the Beltway during the day, but it's a beautiful drive at night. Maybe, you know, late nights. I get it. You got a job, but
yeah.
This place is ready to embrace you. They're ready to have a parade. So hopefully you're the guy leading it, man.
Man, we'll see. Hopefully.
Thank you.
Man, I appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.